everybody, welcome to the Basis Points Podcast. I'm Kevin Flanagan, head of fixed income strategy at Wisdom Tree Asset Management. Now, how can new hiring and the unemployment rate rise at the same time? Well, it did take a while, right? But the Fed and the markets finally did get a jobs report up, but it was for the month of September. So in a sense, not exactly current news, but still some fresh insights nevertheless. But the underlying data did cause some confusion, hence the title of this podcast, because both new job creation, that's non-farm payrolls, and the unemployment rate rose in the same month. And it begged the question, how can that happen? Well, this is how it can happen. In order to better understand the jobs data a little bit better, you need to know that the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the BLS, they conduct two separate surveys for each monthly employment report. There's a household survey and an establishment survey. And the household survey gives us civilian labor force, the labor force participation rate, and of course, the unemployment rate. And interestingly, it also includes its own measure of new job civilian employment. Now, the establishment survey consists of non-farm payrolls, hours worked, and average hourly earnings data, among others. So since non-farm payrolls and the unemployment rate come from two different surveys, two different sources, at times they can move in counterintuitive directions on a monthly basis, just like we saw. But over time, this anomaly is corrected, so I wouldn't make a big deal out of this. Now, what about the jobs report itself, a review there? Total non-farm payrolls rose by more than double the consensus estimate, coming in at up 119,000. And that pushed the three-month moving average up to 62,000, the highest since May, and compares to the prior month reading of only 18,000. Now, this is where sort of that weirdness took place, right? The unemployment rate rose 0.1 percentage points to 4.4%, and it did create market anxiety. However, the increase in the jobless rate was essentially due to a surge in the labor force, not necessarily layoffs. And without the increase in labor force participation rate, the unemployment rate would have been unchanged, if not lower. So in terms of upcoming post-shutdown data of consequence, this was the last full employment situation report before the next FOMC meeting coming up on December 10th. In addition, since the BLS canceled the October consumer price report, there won't be another CPI release until December 18th. Once again, that's after the aforementioned Fed gathering. Now, recent Fed speak and the October FOMC minutes underscore a Fed divided. We talked about this. We wrote about it a week ago as a good number of regional bank presidents want it seemingly to pause rate cuts. But more recently, we have New York Fed President Williams still seeming to favor another easing move. Now, the September jobs numbers and the lack of additional full employment and inflation data until after the next FOMC meeting, that does play, in my opinion, into the pause argument. But a January rate cut can't be ruled out. It's still possible, but we need to get more data. And I'm going to end it there. I hope everyone has a great rest of the week and be well.